Hello and welcome to Legislative Report. I'm State Representative Mario Scavello of the 176th District in Monroe County. On today's program, we're going to talk about a condition that you've probably never heard about. Trichotillomania is the repetitive pulling of hair. An estimate 2 to 3% of the population suffers from this disease. I'd like to spend some time today discussing this condition with my guests, Charlene Blaser, Elena Rolak, and Melissa Honorato. Ladies, welcome to this program.
Hi, we're glad to be here. I came to talk to you purposely. Charlene and I, and Elena, which we'll mention later, helpmetostop.org, which is a non-profit organization for Trich. We needed that, person to kind of listen, and I guess we thought about you, and when I came to you, and I knew for sure you weren't going to know what it was. So we laughed, we had fun with that. But I think for me, it just took so much to walk in your door, and then from the minute I told you, I felt myself, wow, this is pretty comfortable, I feel like I'm doing the right thing. But to backtrack a little bit, I met Charlene as her client. As far back, I'll say I was 11, junior high school, 10 or 11 years old. Thought I was the only person in the world who pulled my hair out, one strand at a time, but you don't know you're doing it. Like I would watch TV, and it was almost like biting your nails or cracking your knuckles. It felt relaxing. I said, oh my God, I'm crazy. This is ridiculous. And I just remember my mother and my father, just stop, what are you doing? So then, I guess in high school, end of high school, I said, you know what, I'm going to go to a psychiatrist because this is ridiculous. I can't wear my hair down. I can't go and get it cut. I was dyeing my hair myself. Go to a psychiatrist. He wants to put me on Prozac. I said, okay. So I did that for about a year. No, it wasn't me. And as doing more research, and I stopped going to the doctor. I took myself off Prozac because I knew that wasn't what I needed. You need behavioral help, therapy, and so then I moved out here to Pennsylvania and did more research after I had my son. Different things in life happen. I stopped for about 2 years, and I felt great. I got haircuts, went to nice beauty salons in New York, and all of a sudden, you hit bumps in the road, and you start getting nervous again. And it started up again about almost 2 years ago, and I did research, and I said, oh, now I'm in Pennsylvania. What help is there? Well, sure enough, Charlene's Salon pops up, and it's specializing in Trich. Most of her clients, so I go. And you know what? She was a coach for me. Very open, because you know what? As a young woman, you don't want anyone to tell you you're getting a wig. Yeah. It's like, oh no, I can't go out in public, and I had a job, corporate America. It's all these things go through your head, and then you think. I was there for about, I guess, a year and a half now, and she's your coach, and about 70% of the clients between all her salons are Trich. And like Elena said, to see their faces, it's just, they know that when they come into the salon, you're there for about 3 hours, because it's a big process. But we're saying, how are you, how have you been? And they're open. They tell us things they would never tell their husbands, their moms. Oh, I've been good, but you know what, last week I had a test and I was really nervous, so now I have a patch here or there. They talk to us and I know for a fact they don't talk to anyone like this at home. So it's a salon where they can come in. It's very private, very, from the photos you'll see there's one client at a time there, and for someone with Trich, that's huge. They would never go to a salon where there's other chairs for the fear that someone's looking at you.
Yes, I mentioned to Elena a little bit earlier that would have to be.
I cut my own hair for years, and by no means did I have any business cutting my own hair, but that's what you do. Yeah. For the fear of the embarrassment. But it's a great salon, and it's, like I said, they're coaching and helping people. There's a few that we can name that from our website came from Mexico. They drove, or Canada, Mexico didn't drive. Canada, she drove from Mexico, because there's nothing out there. It's just, I mean, you look at on the website of the Trichotillomania Learning Center, which is where everyone can go and look. You look under salons. I think we're the only one, aside from, I think there's one other in Ohio. That's it.
And it's such a, 2 or 3 out of every 50,
Yeah.
and there's only one salon,
Right.
and there's two in the state, and they're both yours.
Right. Right.
It's unbelievable.
It is.
How did you find Charlene? You know, we talked about it a little bit earlier, and you know, and I know it's not an easy thing for you to do, because I know we talked about it earlier. If you wanted to come on camera, and you really weren't sure, but you know, I really applaud you in having the courage to do this, because if you could reach out to just one person watching this show, and one person, just that one person, the whole thing is well worth it, because especially at a young age, what you went through and the experiences that you have and the story that you're telling, it's a strong story.
This is how lucky I am, and that's why it was a big decision on the drive here last night. Am I going to say I do it, or yeah? And I'm fine with it, because you know what? Like you said, if I can help one person, and I know that there's clients out there that email us all the time. I'll have emails when I go home tonight from Virginia. This girl wants this so bad. She cannot afford it. She makes, you know, very, very little money. And just to hear these girls send us pictures of what their hair is like. Some of the pictures look like the ones on the board, where they have to deal with it every day. They can't afford it. So it hurts. So that helped me to stop.org. You know, Charlene and I have spoken a lot about it with Elena too. How can we, you know, get these girls like this help, because they need to feel good.